Okay, here is a video showing these issues. Last video, I'm going to redo this because I made a lot of mistakes showing some things. Anyway, this here is my log file on my server online. As you can see, I already have 31 lag count. I never get lag count, not on my server through Ping Perfect nor on my machine. What I'm going to do here is real quick. So I'm going to open this up and show you some stuff here. This is the dedicated server. Now this is a working version of the server. And what I'm going to do here is right here. Let me copy this folder. This here is a working copy of a new server I created that was having issues before I fixed this and discovered all these issues. Here's another copy of my original server that is modded. And in here, these are original common.jar and server.jar. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my log viewer. First, I'm just going to crank up this server. And I'm going to go over here. Let's close out a lot of these logs here. Is this the log that I'm running right now? No. Okay. So let me just get these logs going. And let's go over here to dedicated server. We're in Foreverlands 2. Log files. Alright. And we're looking for lag count. Alright, nothing. The server's running fine, as you can see. We don't have any issues whatsoever. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shut this down now. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to open this up right here. I'm going to grab these two files right here and drop them here and replace these. Now these are modded. And then I need to go over here to Worm Unlimited. And I need to replace this one. This is modded. Now I'm going to crank this back up. And I'm going to crank up my server. Now I'm not loading a texture pack in or anything, so we're not going to see any of that stuff. So let me go back over here to this server now. Grab this log file. And we're looking for lag count. Now this runs live, and if I get a lag count, it will drop it down here at the bottom in the search panel. Right now all the animals are just spawning away, being counted for and everything as the server loads up. Alright, you can see we don't have nothing. So just waiting for the server to fully crank up. It's a lot to load in here. It's a big map. Server is loaded and we have no lag count. Not even at the beginning. And I'm going to let this one run for a few minutes here, just so you can see. It is, I can't even see what time it is. It's 6:23 in the morning, and we have no lag. And what's happening is during the download, I finally got a working version. That's why I got it zipped up right now. It's a working version of 1.3.5.5. Somehow the Steam download is getting corrupted, and it's doing something to a file that is causing something to mess up, and we start getting lag count that we shouldn't be getting. And that's basically what's happening here, as you can see. Now let me open up a file and show you what was actually happening on the server. So let me go over here to all my backups. Now these are backups off my main server, and the last backup we had was here on 5.11. So let me go into log files. Wait a minute, can't do 5.11, got to do 5.10, because 5.11 I didn't download the log files. So let's go to log file 1, and as you can see, it's hunting for all these. Look at all this lag count. As you can see how far it went. Now this is just part of that. Give me a second here. One second. One second here, I gotta reply to this. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, all this lag right here was happening on my server, and this was me just cranking it up, and I was just getting spammed with this. Now let's go back to the server we're running. See, we still haven't got anything, and this server's just running. And that was log file 0 in that one, and that one server. So yeah, as you can see this right here, and if I open up one of the other files, let's open up number 2. What date was number? Okay, that was probably beforehand. But anyway, it's probably number 100 or something like that, because there's tons of log files in there. But basic goes 0, 1, and whatever. But as you can see, this one right here, this is what's spamming the server, just constantly spamming the server. And it gets even higher. I've had the server go up to 20K in 24 hours. It'd be over 20K in log count, and this is after the 1.3.5.5 live version, which I've now discovered it is a download issue. Somehow it's getting corrupted when you download from Steam. It don't happen every time, but you got a 50% chance to be lucky enough to get a corrupted copy. Okay, so we can see that this client is working fine, right? We all can agree. You sit here and see there is no lag count. This server's just running smooth as can be, and this is a modded server on top of it. Alright, so I'm going to close this server down, and let me close these old logs out right here. Now what I'm going to do is I have all this stuff over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all this. Wait a minute, make sure I'm in my right folder. Let me delete all this, and we're going to go to Steam. I'm going to show you all this live. Tell it to install, even though I done, it's just going to install the folder. Now we'll install it. And basically what I've noticed is I have good bandwidth and I noticed there is a slow bandwidth between me and Steam. And it's not just me. I don't know if they're getting DDoS attacked or what's going on. Their server's failing, it's corrupting stuff. Something's causing the download from Steam to get corrupted. And like I said, you got a 50-50% chance to get it without the issue and to get it with the issue. So it's not the update. The update's fine. It's just the download. It's getting corrupted somehow, which is causing that issue. So let's go over here and look at this. This is our new folder it created for us. And I'm having a problem getting an actual download copy for my server because everyone I've downloaded so far has came to the same fate. So now we're going to crank it up, and it's going to create our creative folders and stuff like that. And then we're going to go to creative, and I got to change this information right here. I overlooked this part in the last video. That's why I'm redoing the video. Y'all don't want to see me sit down and mess with that crap. Okay, so we're going to save that information right there. And this is a default map. I mean, you can see come on. We're only going to spawn what 10k of mobs at 10% aggressive. All right, we're just going to spawn the default crap. So let's crank that up. Let's go to the log viewer. While it's cranking up, I'm going to open up this file now. Dedicated server, creative, logs, one log. Let's look for lag count. Now right now it looks like I got a decent copy, but we have to let it run for a minute to find out, because sometimes it don't start immediately. It just depends on how much you got going, then it might just kick and not stop. Looks like I got a decent copy right now. I'm still having a problem though getting it on my server. As you can see, my server side I've got 31. It's not as bad as it was, but it is bad enough to even see that on there, especially when it's the default map, 2048, 10k of mobs, 10% aggressive, and I got lag count. Now it has gotten worse. There are times that it will just spam, and I had it spam earlier, and we'll go through that. I still need to try to get a working copy on the server, so I'm going to try to download it again. But as you can see, I got a decent copy this time, so we're going to shut it down. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to delete this. Go back to Steam. Tell it to uninstall. Tell it to reinstall. And you got a 50-50 chance to get a bad one. And it took me 4 tries to actually get a good one. Like I said, you know, I don't know if it's the time I'm downloading, if it's high bandwidth, what's causing it, but it is happening. If you're having this server lag issue, it took me 4 days to track it down, and it ends up being a download issue, getting corrupted somehow. Download's going a lot faster than it did, and maybe something's getting fixed. Maybe Code Club has contacted Steam. I don't know. I know I have reported it on the forums. I have traced it down. I have told where the issue lies, so maybe when I update my server here in a minute, it'll be fixed. If they've got the download link fixed or whatever's been corrupting it, maybe I'll actually get my server to run now. But I do have a video. It's a long video, but I don't want to put it out there, and it's just a waste of time to watch it, because you don't really see anything to the end of the video. I made so many mistakes. I was trying to launch a server and wasn't even paying attention that the IP wasn't there, so it was like 30-40 minutes of the video. The video is like an hour and 10 minutes long, and there's like 30 minutes of me trying to crank up a server, and I didn't pay attention to this thing right here. Yeah, gotta change the IP. It don't automatically grab my IP, so I wasn't paying attention to that. So we're going to crank this up again. And we seem to be getting a decent copy here. Okay, so I'm just going to let this run in the background right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and we're going to do this live. I'm going to stop my server because I still need a working copy on this. So I'm going to go and do the ultimate thing, reinstall. And if you know anything about this, you'll know what a reinstall does. It kills everything. So I'm going to set my mob count. I'll leave all this, I'll change this later. Okay, so let's reinstall. And what this does on the server end is it deletes everything. Save files, everything. So hopefully the install goes faster. They download from the same thing that we do through Steam. Verifies your Steam account, downloads the client, and then it installs on this end over here. Or I mean on their end, on the server end. And this is what I found out. As you can see, we're paused here now. This shouldn't be pausing like this, even though it's transferring, you know, the transfer rate or when it's being installed. There's a hiccup somewhere. Something is happening that shouldn't be happening. Because normally this goes faster than this. Error deleting files. Why would we have an error deleting files? The server is stopped, is it not? Yeah. Okay, let's get back here and redo this again. Unless they're familiar with it already, because I've been in contact with them at Ping, letting them know what's been going on. What do you mean it's already running? Didn't I cancel it? As you can see, I've been talking with Ping already on this issue. Okay, let's say cancel. What do you mean you're processing? Oh. What the hell did I do? What's going on? It's probably still trying to install it. Waiting patiently here. As you can see, we can go back over here while I'm waiting on this. We got no lag spikes whatsoever. None. Come on. I'm probably going crazy at Ping Perfect with me installing and uninstalling and reinstalling on that mainframe. Trying to get a working copy. They want me to try to get a link, and I'm waiting for a link so bad. I haven't got any information. Haven't been contacted yet. What are you processing? Oh, the shit in a video that goes crazy. What's in my file folder? Let's check that out while I'm sitting here. Well, we got some of the stuff here. Okay, there we go. So let's go back over here. Let's do this again. Pick that. Now, hopefully we don't get an error this time. Step 1 of 1. Oh, I hope this is it. I'm tired of installing and reinstalling the server. Need a new download link or a new upload from Steam or something. As you can see, it's paused. It's taking too long to download these files. It's never taken this long. Something's happening on Steam's end during the download process. And while we're waiting on this, we'll look at this. See, no lag count yet. None. Server's still running. I don't need to log in for this lag count crap to happen. It happens without logging in. So if anybody thinks, well, you haven't logged a character in, it don't need to log a character in at all. You can just crank the server up and it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If the bug is there, if the corrupted file is there, it's going to happen. I'm not saying you should never get a lag count. I'm just saying getting spammed with lag count or having massive big bumps is not normal. Definitely not normal. Yeah, this probably ain't gonna work either. It's taking too long. Because it don't take this long to download and install. Here lately, for the last couple of days since I figured this out and I've been downloading and uninstalling from there, I've noticed this takes longer. I don't know if Steam's mainframe upload and download servers got issues, but this is on Steam's end with the download. This has got nothing to do with the patch. The patch works fine. It's got no problems with it. You know, I've had to slowly weed this issue out till I boiled down to the point that was actually causing it. And it's basically you got a 50-50% chance. So all those whose servers are running fine, you got lucky. And all those that having this extra lag and this lag that they never had before, you were unlucky like me. So you have won the lottery of the unluckiness. So as soon as this finishes, we'll crank it up. Alright, we got that done. It's a fresh new map. So let's just go over here, just do everything as normal, even though this was preset. as you can see. So we'll just go ahead and save this again. We're only going to spawn 10,000 critters. Let's save this information. I'm probably putting a load on their server, downloading this stuff. Okay, so let's update the server. Got to make sure we hit that button. Execute it. And yeah, I'm not smoking pot in a bowl, people. It's an e-cigarette. I quit smoking regular cigarettes over a year ago, and I quit it in one day just by going to e-cigarette. That's after 20 some years of smoking. I quit in one day smoking an e-cigarette. Best thing I ever did was go from regular cigarettes to e-cigarettes. But okay, so let's start the server up. Let's go to our log viewer. Wait a minute. Actually, we have it right here, I think. Is it going to use this one? I think it'll use the same log viewer. I can't remember if it will or won't. We'll shrink it. Yeah, it's probably going to use the same one right here. Put it on the screen over here for a minute. Try to refresh this one. Go back. Gotta wait for the server to crank up. It's got to create the creative map and everything like that. Maybe it won't use that one. Nope, because it's already connected to Steam, and hopefully this one's fine. Hope I'm not going to have this issue anymore. Crank up a client. 0 on 1.3.5.5. Oh, what's that? Nope, there it goes. There it goes. It's already starting. As you can see, this is what I'm talking about. It'll start up. I didn't even log up. I ain't even tried to log into the server yet. Look at there. There it goes. Ain't no need at this point. Let's look at my server on my end where the files are running fine. No lag count yet. Here, let's just make sure we're getting it the right thing. So, just in case my words ain't working right. Yeah, the one on my end ain't doing it because I've actually got a working copy on my server now. But trying to update or download, see, this shouldn't be happening. Not even starting up a fresh server, because this was a fresh server. We didn't even get one lag count. But over here, as you can see, we're getting lag counts already. This is what I'm talking about. And my server, like I showed you on that one screen, I was spammed with this. Just spammed. And I've never been spammed. I've never had one of these actually ever on my server, ever. Up until that patch. And, oop, we finally got one. Oh, don't tell me. That was the new one that we just done. It's not mine. Mine's over here. I got my own version over here on my desktop. Because I ran it for over an hour and some. I never got a lag count. So yeah, I ain't worried about it. I actually got a working copy now. But this is the one we just downloaded from the internet. We'll just monitor here for a minute and see if it starts adding up. Because there's times it'll get faster and it'll get faster. Like this one right here. This one here just took a little time. I mean, when I first put in the 1.3.5.5 patch, I didn't automatically get spammed with lag. It took a day almost. At some point throughout the day after the patch, this started, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and then it wouldn't stop. Someone chatting at me? What we got here? Okay, that was retrograde right there. Hey, retrograde, how you doing? Yeah, as you can see, this is a brand new install, 10K of mobs, and I'm getting lag count, and as you can see how often it's happening, and it ain't because it's spawning the mobs. Trust me, that ain't the issue. Um, it just builds up over time, and over time it's just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. Over here we've only got one so far. Um, but this is not my version running. This here's one we just updated, and it looked like it was running fine, but we started getting our first lag count. As you can see, when we first started this one up, it ran for a little bit, then it started kicking. Now you see it's starting to actually produce more, and it'll get faster. It'll build up. And this one here, we still haven't got that much yet. We've only got the one so far. Yeah, but this is the problem that I'm talking about. You know, it's just going to build up, and like I said on my server, let me close this one out. Let me go back and open up one of mine that I had. For example, 510. Let's just go look at some more of these log files here for a minute. The last one that hit, which was this one here. This is right before I shut it down. This was just after starting it up. As you can see if we can go up here and find out where it happened. Yeah, see, it just logged, it just pulled fog spiders. And normally that'll jump a lag count, but it was just coincidence that when I started the server up, it was fog spider time. And see, I got it fog spiders when I had it modded, cut down to where only 100 will spawn, so normally that lag count never happened. Never had it. Okay, here we loaded up. Load in. Fog spiders got loaded. And here's where the server actually cranked up at, is at this point. And before the server even cranked up, we already had a lag count of 9. And that was before the server even started. And then after that, it started loading more creatures, more fog spiders. This is where it deleted all the fog spiders. You can see you don't normally get this. This was log information added to me in the code, so I can see when mobs are spawned and despawned. This is how I was watching and filtering through mobs to get them to spawn the way I want them to spawn on the map. But anyway, then once they were deleted, pop, 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 and we go right here. As you can see, we're still lagging in the background there. Let's go down here to number 2. We had all this spam right here. And this was when it was far into the server. And let's see. I think it would be on one of the very last ones here. So let me try 199. Oh, I'm lazy. Here, let's copy that. Was it on one? No, 199 would have been. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how it labels these. What happened there? Oh, opened up the wrong one. Okay, so let's go back over here. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder, no wonder. Let's go to 5.5 when I cranked up one of those. And on 5.5 we had part 1. Oh, this is one that was recent. anyways, you can see we're already up to 25, and it's ticking too much. And let me see. Yeah, we don't want that one up. We don't want that one up. But this is what the server was doing. It gets to the point where it's really bad. Well, this one has only had one, so maybe this one's okay. That we downloaded just a minute ago, and this is just a coincidental lag, because you will get these from time to time, but just not like this. This here is from a file being messed up. That's what this is from, and over time this will get more and more and more and more. But it was to the point, based on how bad the corruption is on the file, will be based on how bad the lag count is. And while we're sitting here watching this, let me put this on this screen over here, and put this ticket over here, and let's go right here. So just over here, I gotta move everything out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this server down, and I'm going to delete all this, and we're going to uninstall it. We're going to install the game again, and this is just to show you all what I'm talking about. My other video showed it even clearer. It's like a 50-50% chance it's going to be corrupted. It's not going to be corrupted. You're not going to get it all the way. It's not going to be as bad corrupted. The worse corrupted it is, the more lag counts you're going to get, the faster you're going to get them. Because right now I could actually put in the version I have and let it sit here and run for hours, and we're not going to get a lag count because I finally actually got a copy that ain't corrupted. And I stuck my mods in it. Didn't have the issue that it did when it went on my server like it did. I mean, I spent 4 days tracking this down. You know, I went from blaming the server company, blaming the updates, to the server company, to, you know, my coding, to I blamed everything for this issue. But in the end, it was, you know, it was a download. You know, things just didn't make sense. They made sense, and they didn't make sense, because what didn't happen. Yeah, it's aggravating. But let's go back here. Oh, I hate this. Do what I tell it to do. Let's save this. Let's start this up. Watch this. Don't maximize. Watch the server. See what happens. This is a new one. Fresh install. And we're going to watch this. Let me check on my server over there. And while we're waiting, yay! We're ticking more lag on a 10K mob server. So anybody having this issue, you're just going to have to download until it stops. And I recommend don't, you know, on your server I can't help you. You're going to have to do like me, because you can't download it and then upload all the files to your server. They're not going to allow it. Some of those files will not be allowed to go through FTP. You'll have errors trying to transfer them because they're a protocol and they don't allow that. Only certain files they allow to come through, and I don't know which file it was. So apparently it's one of the ones that you can't transfer, and that's getting corrupted. I don't know if it's random corruption, but it seems to be the same file every time, because it is the same issue every time. It just depends on how bad the corruption is. And as these pings happen, the lag spikes get worse and worse and worse, to the point that the lag is longer and longer and longer every time it spikes. So we'll just watch this one for a minute here. I might tag the end of that video. I might splice it so y'all can see what was happening at the end there. because the other video actually showed it popping real bad when I downloaded it on the server. But as you can see, my server end, yeah, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't be here. Now, the thing of it is, this is a creative server, just like this one. This is a creative server. This is the same thing I'm running on the main server, but as you can see, these lag spikes are popping. Not as bad yet, but they are popping. So, you know, I'm chalking it off as the corruption wasn't as bad. Here is a new download, and we haven't got one spike yet. Now, it took a few minutes ago that we got one spike, but that's not saying, you know, that wasn't just one of those coincidental spikes that do happen, because these things do happen, but just not like this. That stuff right there shouldn't happen. 10k of mobs, both of these. You know, put them side by side each other. 10k of mobs, both servers running 10k of mobs. And, you know, Ping Perfect's got real good servers. I've been running servers with them for over a year on Worm Unlimited. I ain't had this issue. This is the first time this issue cropped up. And like I said, I've actually never had this happen. I've never had this on my server ever. This is the first time I've ever had it. And at first, you know, these were popping on my server, and it was lagging like crazy, so bad and so often, so every 30 seconds, big spikes, and you know, it was very unbearable to play on my server after that patch. And you know, I kept blaming, you know, I talked to this Ping, and I was like, you know, your server's messed up, blah blah blah. And because on my end, I ran, you know, where's it at? As you can see, I'll bring a backup of my server from the mainframe. I download it to my machine, and I'll run them on my machine and test them. And basically, you know, I did a backup of the server, brought it, you know, the server files here, but it wasn't the game files that were causing the problem. It's the server files that's doing it, and it's not in the common.jar or the server.jar because I replaced those. So it's in one other file other than the common and the server.jar. They're not the ones getting corrupted. It's one of these other files that's being downloaded. It's getting corrupted. That's causing this issue here to happen. Because it definitely ain't from the common or server.jar, because I uploaded new ones to it that were working on my end and still retained the issue. As you can see, we're running fine now. We got no lag spikes. So maybe we actually got a working copy. Maybe we had one a minute ago. It's just that, you know, we had that one incidental lag spike. But as you can see right here, this shouldn't happen. Shouldn't be getting these. Sad part is I can upload that stuff. You know, this is not normal, and depending on how bad this is, like I'm telling you how bad it is, it could look as bad as this. This is mild compared to what I've had to endure trying to get one of these to work. I mean, I can go back over here, and when we look at this log file, it can get pretty damn bad. I mean, you can see how bad they started jumping. I mean, it can get really damn bad out there with this issue. Yeah, the server's running fine. So I'm going to throw this to the side for a minute. I'm going to log into my server on my end and see if we can cause a lag spike. So let's go to my creative server. And before we log in, let's go up here. Big Nasty 5. This is something you can do. You can do this before your character actually logs in. As you can see, I changed myself to 5. Then you can pick your class, log in, Check it out. Didn't have to log back out of the game. I am GM. Now I gotta log back out to fly because my hotkey didn't work. But let's go over here and let's try to call some lag. Yeah, let's set the data. You want to cause lag in a server? This is what you do. There we go. So let's call some lag. Constant spamming of raising bell. No lag. I'm gonna try it. It looks like I actually got a working copy this time. But yeah, you know, I hate that it took so long to figure this out. But, you know, somebody's got to investigate what's causing the issue. I mean, it is a real issue. It is happening. Dang it. We're just gonna keep raising land here. I'm gonna try to reproduce this. Somebody's probably saying, "Oh, spawn 100 animals." Hey, you know what? That's a good idea. As you can see, still no adding it to the lag count. All right, really? What is something small that won't take a lot? Summon 100 crabs. 100 crabs. Look at that. Not one lag count. So yeah, I finally got a working copy that ain't going to have that issue in it. So yeah, it ain't a patch. The patch is fine. It's something's getting corrupted in the download that's causing this. Cause here, let's do some more. Let's get crazy. Cave bugs. 110 cave bugs. Yeah. All this, no lag. We're just spawning. Spawn some more. Let's spawn 200 deer. Can we get 200 deer here? Oh hell yeah. Look at all this. No lag, people. No lag spikes whatsoever. So yeah, like I'm saying, it's based on it's based on, you know, whether you're getting a corrupted copy, which is what was happening. Here, let's spawn. I mean, I'm trying. Shit, man. Let's hens. Let's make 400 hens in the water. How about that? 400 hens. 400 hens spawned. Guess what? No lag count. That's right. So yeah, it's just based on. You ever seen so much hen meat? Did I actually get 400 in here? Some of them died. Instantaneous death. You ever seen so many deer and crabs? Let's see. Let's summon some more while I'm sitting here. So, you know, like I'm telling you, yeah, let's do some of these. Let's do 100 juggernauts. Can we get this in here? Oh my god! And guess what? No lag spikes. Let's search for them. None. We got 100 juggernauts in here. Still got 60 some frames. All these mobs sitting around, all these polygons. So yeah, it's good god. Look at them. Just all piled on top of each other. Look at these deer. You ever seen this many juggernauts? yeah, here we go. Let's get even more creative. We got all this. You would think with all this extra spawning and stuff, you'd have problems. Spawn 100 of these. As you can see, we still don't have a spike. Yet, if we go to there, we've already had 29 and no one's logged on the server. Only the certain amount of mobs are spawning that are supposed to be spawning, yada yada yada. And this being vanilla, you know, I don't have any of this stuff on here, whereas if my modded server, it'll report all the creatures and stuff like that. As you can see, yeah, we have all this, and we have no lag spikes. So I actually got a working copy of the server on that download. But as far as my live server, I didn't. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back over here real quick. Try this again. So let's stop the server. Let's go back to actions. Let's go back to reinstall. Because an update ain't going to do it. Like I said before, all the update's going to do is it's going to say, is it this file date? Is it different? Is this file size different? If it's not, then it's not going to replace it. It's going to go over it. So if that file was corrupted, it's just going to skip it and not replace it. So doing a Steam update ain't going to fix the problem. It's going to have to be a complete uninstall, reinstall of the entire server until you get a working copy. So we're going to try it again. Retrogrades, hopefully he can get a copy out to people. Hopefully Code Club, he's going to talk to Code Club. I guess he was on the road or something at the time. But he's going to talk to them and see about getting them a ticket, because my server company wants a ticket. Or they want an official link. They want, you know, they need an official link to download. Because they can't take the working version I have because of virus stuff, scare and stuff like that. So they won't take that and put it on their own servers. So basically they want a working copy from Code Club. So if they can get, if Buddha and them can get me an official link to that download, I can give it to Ping Perfect, and Ping Perfect can have it on their end, so we can bypass this issue of doing this right here. I mean, I can imagine that server sitting down asking me, how many times are you going to install and uninstall me? But you know, I want my server running, and this is the only way I can do it without an official link, so Ping Perfect can go in and just do it on their end and put the working files on their end right into the server database, you know, into my folder. And you know, if you're with Ping Perfect and you're having this issue, or you're with Citadel, or you're with another server company, you're having this issue, if you're running a server from your house and you're having this issue, this is what you're going to have to do until you get a working copy. As you can see, the download's going faster this time. Maybe I'll get it this time, I don't know. As you can see, I got all those mobs on the map. I don't have no lag count on that server. So apparently that download was a success. I got onto that. I got to be one of those 50% chances, you know. No lottery today on a bad corrupted download, but yeah, that's basically what's happening. Is, you know, because now I can upload any map to that, rebuild it, and it'll be fine. But God help me if I gotta update it, because you know, I don't know what's going on here. Something's getting lost. Something's getting corrupted in the download from Steam. First time it's ever happened, but for Worm Unlimited anyway for me. So the only thing I can say at this time is for Code Club to get a hold of Steam and find out, or re-upload that version, or contact Steam, find out why this is happening, trace down the issue, because this is not good for CodeFlow at all. After this install right here, I'll check it. If it don't work, I'm gonna end the video because I'm gonna still keep doing this. But I'm trying to get this video shorter than I had the last one. The last one was an hour and some. I don't want this one to last an hour, just to show you what's going on here. And while that's still doing that, as you can see, no lag yet. The server's still running. See, we got all this. The server's still running. Okay, that's done. First things first, let's go over here and make sure we got all this information set. We'll do this by the book. We ain't gonna skip anything. Password. I'm gonna go ahead and put 60k of mobs on it because it ain't gonna matter. If it's broken, it's broken. How do I reset this later? No. No need for me. I'm going to replace this map. This is just me testing it out. But I am definitely going to replace this map, and as you can see, we still don't have that issue. This server's still running fine. Like I said, it is an issue. Let's go ahead and execute this. See? No lag on that server whatsoever. We spawned all that stuff and that's it. You know, it's like, you know, and we're logged in. We got a player logged into it. Big Nasty logged in. Let's get really heavy. All that's doing now. What's it called? Huge shark. Yeah, huge shark. Let's do 800 huge sharks. Yeah! Pow! 800 huge sharks. Got 3 lag spikes from that. But of course that was because we just spawned that many sharks. It ain't because the server lagged. We spawned. Hey, swift. Hey, tornado sharks. Hey, shark tornado. Hey, here we go, shark tornado, everybody. Yay, shark tornado. But yeah, that spike is one of those spikes that will happen if you do something like that. You know, it's one of those that you expect to happen. But as far as that, the server's done no other spikes just because we made that spike. Because I could reproduce that spike again. I spawn another 800 mobs. It's going to lag as it pops 800 mobs in on the screen, on the server real quick. Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, this is done. Let's go back over here. Let's start our server up. This is our new server. We don't have to rebuild a database because we didn't change nothing in the database. That's only when you're putting in a new map or resetting a database. The database is already set the moment you reinstall the game. You don't need to build the database, so we don't have to worry about that. So while we wait for the game to crank up, I didn't want that to do like that, and I didn't want it to beef up like that. There we go. Just wanted this here. So now we just got to wait for it to crank and load for the first time. Unless it's doing a new one. It's probably a new log folder. Yes, it is. It's probably already cranked up now. Yeah, it's already cranked up. Oh, come on. squeeze back down. And we already got a lag spike, so nope. Oh, we got 3. Oh, we got 4. So it didn't work again. We're already up to 6. 8. And this ain't mob spawning. It ain't cause the map is brand new and fresh and mob spawning. That ain't it at all. This is something's corrupted in the download, and this is going to continue to happen and continue to happen. Look how they're coming. Look at them. Yep. Look at that. Somebody will say, "Well, you got 60,000 mobs on there." Okay. All right. I'll buy that. Trying to spawn 60,000 mobs, huh? Alright. I'm going to debunk that real quick. So let's go to our creative server. And we had how many mobs over here? 10k? Here. 70k. 65%. 70,000 mobs. How about that? Let's debunk it real quick. Got no reason for that spike. Start the server up. They're both the same identical server, except for mine now is going to run 70,000 mobs instead of 60,000. Where's my spikes? Aha! That's because the one on my machine is a working client, while the one on the server is still a corrupted client. Yep. This is what I'm talking about. As you can see over here, get our log files. Separate here. As we can see on this end right here, this was right after the server started. Right after. This one here, we just started a server. We still haven't got one. This is still counting the lag spike from the first one. Yep, this is from where we produced one when we spawned 800 sharks up here. And we haven't produced one yet. And I'm pretty sure the server's just spawning away. But as you can see, this is what was happening right here on my server. As soon as it got cranked up, it's corrupted. Something's corrupted causing this. You can tell this is file corruption. I don't know what's doing it, but something's throwing the code off because it got corrupted, scrambled, whatnot, some file. It's the same file every time. As far as on this end here, and like, you know, I downloaded the same client as my server company just downloaded, and this is the different issues we're having. And I have produced this. If I download every server file from my server company and put it on my machine and try to crank it, I'm gonna have this. If I download from Steam right now, I have a chance to have this rather than this. The difference. This server's trying to crank out 60k of mobs. This server's trying to crank out 70k. No lag spikes. The only lag spikes we got was a 3-count lag spike because we spawned 800 sharks. Okay, I'm done with this video. What? Did I successfully logged on? What? Where's my log viewer? I must disconnected and reconnected. Yeah. Must be all the sharks here. But as you can see, shark tornado again. That's so cool. Swimming sharks. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope this helped you out, clear up anything that there is an issue with it. And this is what's happening. See, we're already up to 153. That's a fresh install right there. 153. This is what's happening. This is, you know, I'm glad this happened. So, you know, I thought it wasn't going to happen in this video, but there it is. That's what I'm trying to show you. This is what's happening. If you're having a ton of lag after 1.3.5.5, this is probably what's causing it. The only thing I can tell you, if you got a standalone server at home, just keep downloading your client and retrying it on a test server until you get a client that works, then load your maps onto it. If you're on a server company like me, you're going to have to keep trying to re-download and then you're going to have to keep trying to reinstall the server until you actually get one to work. Because this is what it's doing. This is what it's supposed to be doing. Alright, y'all have fun.